Fable 2 and Fable 3. Right. Fable 2 is just a blinder of a game. It really is just a really great RPG. When I got the game, I'd played the original Fable probably a quarter of the way through, ish, and I really liked it. I don't know why I didn't carry on with the game, and I don't know why I haven't gone back to it, to be honest. But it really was an awesome game. So I didn't know too much. I didn't know what to expect with the game, too much, and I know people were telling me what was going to be in the game, and so as far as expectations, I don't really have any. Although I was hearing about from other people, other gamers, what was going to be in the game. But as far as expectations go, I didn't have any. I didn't listen to any hype. I don't know why people get on Peter Molyneux's case so much. They really seem to lay into the guy. I think all the shit that they say about the guy in terms of what he promises with his games is really unfair. People just listen to the hype around games way too much. Sometimes when developers speaking about the game, they have a lot of things that in their head or on paper they want to put into a game. So if you're listening to a developer or creator or whatever you want to call them, director, and they're saying, "Oh, we want to do this and we want to create this game," especially at the start of when in the early life of the game, that stuff might not even make it into the finished product. I don't know why people really latch on to things, and stuff that they say, and people make out that Peter Molyneux's the only guy that hypes up his games. Everyone hypes up their games. The guy that the lead director or whatever of BioShock hyped the fuck out of BioShock, and I personally think the first half of BioShock was great and the second half was rubbish. So another one is Jade Raymond. I think that was the name. Hyping the absolute crap, and Ubisoft as well, hyped the absolute crap out of Assassin's Creed. When Assassin's Creed came out, it was pretty rubbish, to be honest. The whole gameplay was rinse and repeat. Virtually no storyline bar at the start and end of the game, and they talk so much crap about the AI in Assassin's Creed, how it's so revolutionary and all the aspects of it. The AI in Assassin's Creed was some of the worst AI I've ever experienced. So it's not just Peter Molyneux. Everyone hypes up their games. So people seem to have this absolute fascination, and that he's the only one that does it, and he's the only one that promises things that don't make it into the finished product. That's not true at all. I think people need to get off his case, personally. Fable 2 was a brilliant game. I don't care what was promised about the game. I don't care what they said was going to be in the game. All I know is I don't listen to the hype, no matter who's saying it or wherever it's coming from. And even if I did, I'd just take the game as it is when I buy it, and then base my opinions off the game rather than my expectations of a game. I think as well, people have this thing of when they listen to the hype of a game, they build mental pictures up in their head. And as you know, the human imagination is quite a wild thing, and a finished product is never going to compare to the human imagination. Human imagination is always going to run wild, so it's a bit unfair to, lay into the Fable games and Peter Molyneux based off one's expectations in their head of what the game should be. But taking Fable 2 at face value is a brilliant game. Personally, I could not stop playing that game. I really couldn't. I love the characters, I love the storyline, I love the world, I love the English humour, and I love the way that you go to different parts of the world and the characters have different accents. I think that's really good. I really like the British wit and humour that's in there as well, because not a lot of other games, I don't think any games really do that, like Fable. So it really is, it feels like very much a British game. Yeah, and the other thing I really liked about the game, there's so many secrets in the game. There's loads and loads of secrets, loads and loads of hidden areas, hidden quests, little treasures to find. And it's all very well games putting in like little Easter eggs and that, but Easter eggs, they're kind of meaningless in a way. They're just like a little smiley face or a nod to the past. Whereas the secrets I'm talking about is, like I said, like hidden parts, hidden levels to the game, hidden quests, hidden items, stuff like that. And Fable had that. Fable 2 had that, loads of that kind of stuff. I just felt that the game, even after I completed the main storyline, I kept going back to different parts of Albion, and I just kept discovering like more hidden parts to the world, hidden like areas, hidden quests, and it's a game that I felt just kept on giving and giving, and it just didn't seem to want to end, and that's what kept me going back to this game. Fable 3. Fable 3 is a bloody awesome game. Again, people getting on to Pete Molyneux's case, or that he promised stuff that he couldn't deliver, rather. Again, just complete bullshit. I mean, you need to just take a game as it is when it's released and just play it based on what you've got, and enjoy it for what it is. And if you have got any things you don't like about the game, then base it on the finished product rather than what someone's promised may be in the game. Again, people just getting on Peter Molyneux's case unfairly, I think. But Fable 3, really enjoyable game, enjoyable characters, great same storyline, not the same storyline, but just a great storyline, great characters, great world. Just a brilliant game overall. After completing the game, I did find that the game wasn't quite as good as Fable 2, and it's not the story or the world itself, it's just the fact that it didn't have as many secrets, or any secrets really, in the game. Once you kind of completed it, that was it. There was no like hidden areas really, or hidden quests, or hidden parts to levels. There's one or two dotted around the place, but as you go through the game, you tend to have discovered those as you're going along. It's not a game that keeps on giving and giving and giving after you've completed it, which is it's a bit of a shame really. They should have put loads of secrets in there. The only criticism I do have about these games though is that it relies on a single save, so you can't go into you can't save a game and choose slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. It doesn't work like that. It's one single save. So once you've completed the game and you've done whatever, if you wanted to play that game again, you'd have to overwrite your save. There's no way you can get around it. Now you can get around it now by transferring your Fable saved games onto a portable media device like a USB stick, but back when Fable 2 was out, you couldn't do that. So if you wanted to play the bad Fable, do it where you was being evil, you would have to rewrite your save, overwrite your save basically, and that's the only criticism that I have about these games. But so they are brilliant games nonetheless.